Welcome to CK4RC. Is taking NyQuil along with a warm bath the sick version of drinking in a hot tub? Something to think about. Welcome back to CK4RC. Last time we unboxed this bad boy, which means this time, you already see, it's time to test it. So let's test it. Here we go. Also, I matched the shirt to the rig a little bit again because I can. I've got so many great shirts from Only RCs. By this point, you should too. Just go to onlyrcs.com. Use my discount code. I'm going to drop it down below. I didn't do the tornado finger. I did the double tap because it's down below. You got the likes and the subscribes. Do those things. Go ahead. But then double tap down below that. That's where you can see the notes on the video, and that's where I'm going to have the discount code CK4RC. Get 20% off all your order, the whole thing. You get shirts for yourself, you get shirts for your wife, you get shirts for your kids, you can get a blanket, you can get banners, you can get stickers. Oh man, they got new decal stickers that are on the way, and I've been experimenting with them. Love them. They are awesome. So keep an eye out for those as well. They've got cups. Forget all the Stanley mumbo jumbo. Forget all that. They got crawler cups. Why do I still have to sell you on this? Go to onlyrcs.com. Get all the things and then use my discount code and save money on all of it. So here we go. Red shirt, black trim, black truck, fire. So that's how it works. I'm not even going to just waste any time. Let's get to it. All right, we'll turn it on. Got the red light. That means it's on. Now, one thing that I do like about this design on this rig is the way that the back of the bed is chopped up. You got easy access to slide your finger back there. Did you hear all that? I think we just got a 1-up. You know what I mean? Did I just put in the Capcom code and get 99 lives? Maybe. So first things first, time to check the modulation. Here we go. Ooh, I don't know if you guys are picking that up on the microphone. Hear that? I will say the wheels are turning. I don't know if you can see that. Look how slow those wheels are turning. Now, I have a feeling on the table, oh, those oil shocks. Man, I don't know what I just hit, but I hit something. Under its own weight, I probably need to give it a little bit more gas before it'll start going. And I do. So here is about as slow of a crawl speed as I'm going to be able to get out of it. It's a little herky-jerky, a little uneven, because I'm just barely creeping. So I have a feeling, there'd be no torque with this kind of speed right here. So I'd probably need to get on it. You know what? The power delivery is a little uneven. For the first brushless RTR microcrawler and my first brushless rig that I've ever had, I was a little let down by that right there. Get a little bit of backup here with the same thing. That's that brushless power right there. It's kind of loud. And the reason for that, I do believe, is because of this good old Furitek motor down here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this camera. Well, actually, I'm not even going to flip it. I'm just going to take it, and then I'll flip it. I'll do a little bit of flipping. It's a nice spot right there for it. Actually, I guess I probably don't even need to flip it. You can see we talked last time about the outboard motor, and what that means is the motor itself actually spins whenever you give it juice, versus everything inside the motor spinning, which is kind of normal. But You see how that motor right there starts to get going, and then you can see the wheels take off a little bit. So because of that, this is not a quiet truck. I don't know if anybody gives a crap about that. Doesn't really matter. It's not like I'm running nitro or anything, you know what I mean? You want to talk about some noise, bringing the thunder. Those nitro vehicles, something about them though, man. Just hearing the whine from those little engines, oh, they are so cool. All right, so we did the modulation. I showed you the spinny wheels. You know, spinning wheels got to go round. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. I'm going to see how slow I can do this. And hopefully... Ah! I got a little crazy. Oh, this is... I'm in a bad spot. I got to say that these tires, these stock tires, not the best. Somebody was ever trying to tell you, oh, that Furitek, those stock tires, they're great. No, they're not. Whoever that person is, I wouldn't trust them because they're lying right to your face. So that was one fail. Here we go with number 2. Same rules as always. 3 fails, we bail. I'm telling you, I've had so many 24 scales, underpowered 24 scales make this challenge. I'm already disappointed with how this first attempt went. So let's see if we can do a little bit better. And 100%, I'm going to blame these tires. And man, I'm already... All right, so this obstacle was designed for 24 scales. So the kind of the trail over here is a little narrow for 18 scales. And I ran into that whenever I did the unboxing on the Red Cat Ascent 18 as well. So I'm not surprised at all that it's having a hard time staying on track because, I mean, there's maybe a half inch of the tread on the trail on the passenger side, and then over here on the drinker side or on the driver's side, there might be an eighth of an inch. I mean, it's barely on there. So that's where we're at. But it made it fairly easily. It was more just about the alignment. Those tires were spinning. The tires are crap. Sorry, Furitek, you did good stuff with the truck. Tires didn't do great with. I do already have some. Of course, I already have some better wheels and tires. Actually, what I have, they're still the stock wheels. They just have better tires on them. So I'm probably going to try those out next. So I want to see how this thing handles the decline, the descent, and I want to test kind of the drag brake. And how does it handle itself? It's getting really close to high pointing, which it has those portal axles. So that kind of surprises me a little bit, but it also does have that LCG chassis as well. So it drops down kind of in the middle where that skid plate is. So shouldn't be terribly surprised by that, I suppose. And I think I just cleared it. I might have bumped right there. I might have high pointed just a tad bit. But as you can see, that drag brake is holding it steady. That ain't bad. That ain't bad. I'm not going to be mad at that. Not even a little bit. I'm just going to creep on down the rest of the way. And that's how we do it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this thing out on some rocks, and we're going to test it out in the wild, and we're going to see how it performs on real obstacles, not some little handmade indoor test ramp. I don't want to insult my ramp. Listen, I made this early on when I was really getting started, and it's still a great obstacle, so I don't want to put myself down for that. I did good work. It ain't even done. But it serves a good purpose, though. So, whatever. Sorry, getting weird again. You guys know it's what happens. If you watch these videos long enough, you know it's going to get weird. That's where we're at right now. We got to the weird part. So, I'll stop with the weird part. I'm going to get this thing out on some rocks. I'll see you out there, and we'll see how it does out in the wild. So here we are back on the CK4RC proving grounds, testing track, whatever you want to call it. I call it mine. There's the extra player sound whenever the thing boots up. So let's give it a rip. See what this brushless rig is capable of. It's got some punch, that's for sure. Yeah, I like that. Handled the log pile with relative ease. I really want to get over here. And again, I'm not really worried about this obstacle by itself because it really is a pretty simple obstacle. What I want to see is the side hill capabilities. And I'm having a hard time getting this lined up. Go figure. As I'm driving one-handed. Not getting a whole lot of traction in the pea gravel over here. So maybe if I bring a different approach, try a different section, get a little bit of flex on the suspension here. Nothing too crazy. And it kind of just creeps over the edge of that rock there. Pretty simple, nothing fancy. I'm also driving left-handed, and so driving one-handed is tough enough. Driving left-handed, which is not my dominant hand, as you might have figured, is probably just a little more perilous than it could be otherwise. So with that, I'm going to throw every challenge at this truck that I can and see how it handles the obstacles. And so far, it's doing pretty well, if I do say so myself. And I do say so myself because I'm the only person out here. I'm talking to myself recording this video. Okay, listen, this right here is a pretty challenging line. I've had several rigs take this on, and very frequently they tip over. So the way that this thing just crept up there is really impressive. You see the tire grab onto that rock as it pulled itself over? That was also really well done. So I don't really have a line planned out right now. I just want to see it go. And as you may have noticed with some of my angles, I never did put that front bumper on. And I don't really want to. It didn't come on it. It is a stock bumper, but as you can tell without it, look at that approach angle. You can get straight up 90-degree approach angle. That's not going to crawl a 90-degree angle. I mean, let's not be crazy here. That's my fault. So I had some technical difficulties with my microphone, and so I'm going to do a little voiceover narration here to wrap up this video. But yeah, so I kind of got it in a precarious position here with the wheels, and I just kind of wanted to test it and see if it could get itself out of here. The wheel speed on this thing's impressive, and as you can see, it's pretty capable of digging itself out of some tough spots. Now right here, if I would have not done what I did, there's a chance I could have saved that. But my instincts are just bad, and they're wrong. And so it ended up on its lid.
But as you can see there, I mean, you know, it steps right up to that little stone right there, that rock, that obstacle, and then it kind of comes down, and here's where the drag brake starts kicking in. Now the drivetrain on these things is a little sloppy, so you've got that working against you as far as the drag brake goes, but once it kind of settles in, it's solid. It's not going to go anywhere. So climb up here onto kind of the gateway to the bridge, and that was just a bad angle. Again, I'm blaming my one hand offhanded driving on that right there. That really wasn't the truck's fault. So yeah, jumping onto the bridge here and get over the first part, that's easy, but then you see the gap right here at the end. This is a tricky line. There is a good way to do this, and there's a bad way to do this. And you might imagine, because it's pretty common, I don't do a great job here. Actually, it doesn't look like I'm going to do that bad, and then I do bad. But because this thing is so capable, it is able to fight its way and power through my bad driving, which I gotta be honest with you, is super impressive. So good on you, Fury Wagon. And as you can see there, I mean, that gap it's no joke. So we finally got over the bridge. I just had to get the rear tire over that last little hump and then down across the end of the rock course. And then we come back up to the other part of the log run. So pretty simple. I do end up, yep, you can see right there, I'm high pointing on the skid plate on that angled wood. So if I come at a different angle, I should be able to kind of crawl my way over, but no, just high pointing again. So yeah, but the wheel speed though, it just powers right through. And then that brings us back to the chute. And this is probably the most difficult part of this course. And when I did this with the Ascent 18, there was kind of a weird angle in the chute. So I have tried to straighten it out, and it looks like I've got the entrance to the chute just a little narrow. That's pretty tough, but not tough enough to keep the Fury Wagon from getting into position. So that alone is pretty impressive. The fact the Fury Wagon managed to get itself into the chute, I am beyond impressed. And then the tricky part here is just trying to keep a good balance. And that is not easy. And the Fury Wagon, I mean, it did everything in its power to make this work. And you can see right, it's fighting hard, but then I got a little loosey-goosey with the throttle, and I ended up just beaching it right there. But yeah, so there's the Fury Wagon, Furitek FX118. What a great rig. So there's the FX118 Fury Wagon in action, in the wild. And it killed a few lines. I butchered a few lines because I'm not a good driver, especially one-handed with my offhand. But you know what? You live and you learn, and we just learned that FX118 is a pretty great rig. Now, stick around because I've got some other stuff coming very soon that I am so pumped about, and you guys should be pumped about it too. An brushless Evo Pro just showed up on my doorstep today. So my 18 scale lineup is starting to expand, and I've got some serious competition. So as soon as I can get that thing out of the box, and tested, I'm gonna have a competition with the Ascent, with the Fury Wagon, and the Evo Pro, and we're gonna see who wins. I have a feeling I know who's gonna lose. I don't know that for sure. Time will tell, but I'm very curious to see who wins. So stick around and keep an eye out for some great videos coming soon, and I'll see you guys next time.